Hi YouTube, Coinpicker here. Here are my thrift store finds for the past couple weeks. First of all, I have these two porcelain liquor bottles from an airline in Europe. So it says here, Blue Delft exclusively made for KLM by Bulls. So they have like a huge set, all numbered, like these little houses. And they contain some sort of liquor, and they were given away, I think, in the first class or business class if you took a KLM flight. And I think something like interesting story. Some other airlines were like complaining in Europe that they're sort of basically bribing people to take their flights by giving away gifts and stuff like that, right? But I think their lawyers fought back and said, hey, these are actually drinks for the free drinks for the customers, and how they present the liquor is totally up to them. That's pretty funny way of explaining. Well, actually, pretty smart. So, pretty collectible. Paid only like $1.99 each, and they're still sealed. Something still inside. And actually, when they fly through countries that don't allow alcohol consumption or very restricted, they actually gave away these during the flight empty. I mean, still sealed, but nothing in them. Very interesting. Very reminiscent of a French producer. Last time I showed you something similar, but it was solid porcelain made in France for collectors. So next, saw this at another thrift store, $1.99. It's some sort of stoneware from England, and what caught my attention was this marking right here. Price, it says price and something. I looked it up earlier, but just don't recall what the bottom. Oh, Price and Bristol. Price Bristol. So Bristol is the area in England, I guess, where it's made. Price is the company. And these remind me, just by the texture and the color, reminds me of those old ceramic ginger beer bottles from like 100 years ago. So I think they used to make those kind of bottles. So for $1.99, I think that little marking was overlooked, because I think it's pretty collectible. It's pretty neat. It's like a mini crock, very unusual size. And related to that, I found this huge $9.99 jug. It's like one of those moonshine jugs. Pretty good shape. I mean, there's maybe a little tiny thing here or there, like very insignificant wear, just a tiny bit here. But yeah, it's one of those whiskey or apple cider type of jugs, 1 gallon. And I always wanted one of these. I always thought they looked cool, watching those old black and white what's it called? Beverly Hillbillies TV show when I was a little kid. So yeah, 10 bucks. I think this is probably worth what, 30, 40 bucks. When I was looking at it at the actually this one was from the Value Village, obviously. Some Japanese fellow went up to me and said, oh yeah, you know what these are for? They're for moonshine. And he's telling me, like, 20 years ago, I used to buy these like for $5. And I said, well, hey, I'm paying double. That's like 100% more. He goes, hey, well, hey, that was 20 years ago. I go, you got a point. So, when I'm looking at something, it sort of gets me antsy when someone's like right behind me, like talking to me about the item. Because, you worry, like, is he just waiting for me to put it down and then to swoop it back up, like grab it? Well, anyways, bought it. And moving on. Found this at the Salvation Army, and looks like the typical silver plated stuff, but you know, when it's like very thin, actually there is some markings. I paid $3.99, and the markings are very sneaky. So let me see if I can point it out. Right here, bingo. Right by where the tag was, all right? Now, if you can see right here, it says sterling, and then there's a mark, maker's mark, like an R. Sterling silver, actually says silver in there. It's from the, I think it's called the Rodin Brothers in the United States. I think it's, no, sorry, not United States. It's from Canada. That company, I believe, eventually sold out to the Burke's Jewelry Company in Canada. That's still around. Or they were absorbed, or, you know, something like that. So when I bought this, it's funny. Usually they don't check, but when I brought it to the till, you know, the cashier is just looking all over and looking at the bottom. Of course, no marks there. But she didn't see the one over here, or over here. So again, was she going to snatch it away from me? I mean, she's one of the nice cashiers. Well, nice to me, friendly. But yeah, would she have taken it away and say, sorry, withdrawn, not for sale? I don't know. Don't want to find out. So that was nice. Actually, you know, when I brought it home, I was thinking, oh, this is so light. What can it weigh? And I was having a running bet with the kids, saying, what do you think? 1 ounce, 1.5 ounce? And when we weighed it, it was about 4 ounces of sterling silver. So this is worth about 70 bucks Canadian just in metal value, which is pretty awesome for a $4 purchase. Really neat. And still in good shape. You know, I'd use it. Put some candies or something on there. And here's some jewelry. Found this in the Value Village, you know, like junk jewelry, costume jewelry racks. So it's Mexican silver. And it actually says, like, I think 925 or something on the inside that was missed. But I'm always very hesitant when it comes to Mexican silver that sometimes those marks are fake. But I did test it with a magnet and looked very carefully for any signs of hidden, you know, like corrosion, if it was like brass underneath. 925. So that's good enough for me. $3, you can't go wrong. Also found, let me see, this was from the local Salvation Army. This little bracelet doesn't weigh much. The chain is called anchor style because it's like anchor chain style, pretty different. And it was marked 925 on a few different places. $3.99. So I think the silver is probably worth that. But, you know, it's a wearable piece. Probably worth, what, 10, 15 bucks. Also, couldn't pass up this one from the Salian. $3.99, marked silver. Very, very light. Barely got my silver value out of it. But you got a stone in here. And also, the pendant has, like, markings galore. 925. All right, and finally, oh, actually not finally, sorry. Went to Salvation Army, and then there's like the tiny little, I think, St. Vincent's thrift store close by, like a block away. I always check both since, you know, they were basically side by side almost. So went through their cutlery. I usually don't find anything in the small one, but I did go through their cutlery and I actually found something. So I got this sterling silver spoon, and there is some military insignia here. And I think it's like the Victoria Rifles or of Canada, VRC. And I think they have a saying, I forgot what it was in Latin, but it basically meant like for country and, home and country or something like that. Very famous one, used by a lot of groups. And got it for 99 cents. Actually, it's one of those places that they don't price anything or rarely do, and you have to bring it up to the counter and they'll just, give you a price off the top of their head. But yeah, he's looking all over, and I guess he was looking for a price, the manager at the till. And I thought, all right, he's gonna see it. He's gonna see this Burke's Sterling. Nope, he just looked around, looked for a label, and then just said 99 cents. I thought, yeah, for sure, I'll take it. Last thing, most recent Salvation Army find. Funny thing is, I should mention, funny thing is, when I found this piece at the Salvation Army, I bumped into, right before I think once I found this, within like 10 seconds on the next aisle, I recognized one of the, what do you call it? Not the thrift store, the weekend flea market. Yeah, flea market vendors, all right, that sells collectibles and porcelain and stuff like that. I see him with this in hand. Always grab it first, right? When you think about it and you're not sure, still hold on to it until you decide not to take it or to pay or whatever. Anyways, I see him, one of the vendors, and I just chit chat with him, and I'm thinking, if I didn't grab this, I think he would have snatched it up within like 2 seconds of seeing it. So I was very lucky. And this is like a good week or two later when I find this piece. I bump into the same vendor and another vendor that is from the same place, same flea market. And they're telling me, hey, how you guys doing? They said hi, and I said, how you guys doing? And it's funny, they say, oh, haven't seen you at the flea market lately. Don't come here, go to the flea market. And I'm thinking, yeah, right. So I said, no, don't have time for, flea market. And I do want to get my stuff at the source, wholesale price. And, we sort of chuckled at that. But I don't know if they even found anything. I guess they were, trying to look for some stock to resell. But after they left, I scouted around the place, didn't find anything, except when I went into the jewelry counter, I found this for $2.99. Now, can you see that mark? Tiffany & Co. 925. And I know there's a lot of fakes out there, and when I picked it up, I mean, it doesn't mark, it doesn't say silver or anything. I checked it with a magnet, not magnetic. I checked it on eBay, historical sales and current sales, and they had the identical design, everything for sale. So that was a good sign that it's not some sort of, stamp on some random piece of jewelry, right? So I paid the price, and I think this, now if it was with a bracelet, then it would be like 150 bucks. So I think the charm by itself must be worth at least 30 bucks, 30, 40 bucks. Because, it's a nice shape, pretty cute little doggy. There you have it. These are my finds, thrift store finds with a little bit of story behind them for the past couple weeks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Coinpicker out.